Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. We begin tonight with the funeral of Detective Wilbur Mort, another incredibly sad and tragic cop killed in the line of duty. Detective Mort was a partner of Detective Jason Rivera, whose funeral was held last Friday in a packed house in St. Patrick Cathedral here in New York. Both funerals took place. And talking about this, you know, sadness quickly turns to anger at the total systemic leadership failure of the political and law enforcement agencies here in New York. It's like, how can this be? Today, as was the case last Friday, Fifth Avenue is filled with thousands of New York's finest mourning and honoring their two former colleagues. And I believe, just as was the case last Friday, the huge turnout by the blue line of New York's finest is making a very strong statement. Enough is enough. These two funerals should be game changers here in Gotham. They're a local story, but it's also a national story as well. With respect to crime, courts, jails, there is simply too much permissiveness plaguing this country, and it's got to stop. All the loose talk over the past 2 years of defunding the police, and in some cases even ending police departments, of instinctively blaming cops whenever there's conflict on the streets, of coddling criminals and forgetting victims, be those victims ordinary civilians or cops. You've got blue states actually permitting smash and grab looting, a problem that's getting worse, not better. Over a dozen major cities in blue states experiencing record homicide rates. Who is looking out for the ordinary working folks who form the majority and the backbone of this country, and who are staunch supporters of the police and law and order? It is they, not these anti-police left-wing woke radicals. It is they, the working folks, who in the long run are going to win this battle against crime. But right now, it is tough going. And I'll say, as somebody who's lived in New York City since 1973, with a bit of time off in Washington, this is a demoralizing period. Hate to say it, but it's true. I see it. I hear it from my friends. Everybody's talking about it. It is not good. Just in January of this new year alone, 33 officers have been shot and 6 have been tragically killed. That's in the first month. Over the past 12 months, New York City crime has spiked nearly 39%. The neighborhoods are not safe. Schools are not safe. Subways are not safe. Businesses are not safe. This is a terrible state of affairs. And the past mayoral administration was anti-cop, literally anti-police. Frankly, the new governor of New York, Hochul, so far she is no better. Now, new mayor, Eric Adams, well, he wants judges to set bail, and Hochul will not agree. No bail, no jail, District Attorney Bragg says, and nobody seems to want to really change that. Hochul met with Bragg and walked out with this OPEC ambiguous Nothingheimer statement, quote, safety and justice must go hand in hand. Well, what the hell does that mean? She should have given him a highly visible public spanking. She should have said, without immediate change in his policies, she's going to fire him. But she didn't. The socialist legislature, both the Assembly and the state Senate, run by far-left Democrats. They won't help. Now, Eric Adams wants more bail. He wants more jail. He's putting plainclothes police back on the streets. But the political establishment is not supporting him. Instead, they're nitpicking him. They're ankle-biting him to death. Some teenage dumbass rapper, I don't know, C Blue, shot a cop, was arrested, and then set free on an affordable bail for him. The mayor insists that the kid should still be in jail, but nobody listened to the mayor on this. This could have been an example. We need an example of some change. So far, no good. The business community met with DA Alvin Bragg, and my pal Steve Schwarzman spoke up, apparently, and said folks won't come back to New York. They won't come back to work unless the crime wave is stopped. And I think Steve is right. You know, crime, of course, is a security, life and death issue. But crime is also a big economic issue. People are fleeing the city and the state in some large measure because of crime. Businesses close and they move elsewhere. Young people out of school look for jobs elsewhere around the country. You know, I remember talking to Rudy Giuliani way back in the 1990s when he first became mayor, and he forcefully moved to end the crime wave. And I remember we talked that high crime is actually a tax hike and low crime is like a tax cut. Now, New York City and state have to cut taxes as well to keep businesses here and attract new ones. But crime is really got to be the first step. In fact, if you want to reform the city, tough on crime, school choice, cut taxes. It's an easy policy prescription. It may be hard to do, but I think that's the right thing to do. Ultimately, the people who are accountable have to be the ones who are to blame. We have to locate and identify who is responsible for these failures. Ultimately, it's the political class that's in charge, and they have failed us badly at the city and state levels. We've got a new mayor, and let us be very hopeful. I think the governor's got to be replaced. She had her opportunity last week, for heaven's sakes, and she blew it, catering and pandering to the far left woke radicals. The legislature's got to be replaced, and somehow the city council has to be overcome. These are all crazy people. I'm sorry to say that, but they are. They're running this place, and they're running it into the ground, and it saddens me. Okay, it saddens me. As a die-hard New Yorker, all this makes me very sad. I want to come back here. I want a new New York. I want law and order. I want to respect cops and all uniformed services, for that matter, all of them. I want to open businesses. I want to open office buildings. I want to open the schools. This is a crime story today. It's also an economic story. But it's even much larger than that. You know, this is a make or break moment for this city. And really, I think it's a make or break moment for this whole country. I hope everybody looks online all evening long at the thousands of cops on Fifth Avenue. These are good men and women. They're trying to protect this city and its businesses and its kids and its schools. And they're trying to say enough is enough. Let's make some changes.